Hey, welcome to Queens Talking Reality. I am Elisa
Farah.
and we are here to do a recap of The Real Housewives of New Jersey, one of my favorite franchises. And thank you guys for tuning in. But before we go ahead, please don't forget to leave a comment down below, like, subscribe, put your alerts on, do all that stuff, and just support us. It's free, and we appreciate you. So let's get down to it and engage. Let's go.
Going live.
Hey, we are back.
Yes, let's get right into it because this was a good episode.
Yeah.
Episode 8, season 13. It was called Pizza Gate.
Mm-hmm.
So it starts off, the next morning after the luau,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'm still trying to say that word.
Sounds good.
Hawaiian themed party of Melissa and Joey. So they went from house to house, and the big topic was Danielle leaving the party because she found out they were talking about the situation about her and her brother, and that majority of the ladies don't believe his story. I would say all the ladies don't believe his story. And they were also talking about Teresa not inviting Melissa's mom. So they were just going from house to house. Jenna was giving her opinion. They were just going house to house about
It basically was like they were doing a recap of the last episode.
Yeah, exactly. They're doing what we're doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Teresa said there was, this was news, was they actually spoke about why Joey and Louis stopped talking, because Joey basically said, I like Louis, I like them, I thought he was good for Teresa. They went back and showed a scene of him telling Teresa, this guy's great for you, I'm happy for you, he's a great guy. And apparently Teresa said it was a business deal gone wrong, and her fiance lost $500,000 about some
$250,000.
$250,000, a pizza deal or something about pizza ovens. And here goes Joey tell his side of the story, basically saying that how Louis tried to screw him out of the business. I still didn't understand what the hell the issue was. Like, I couldn't understand what.
To me,
fired. I was like, what? Who lost what?
But who do you believe?
I mean, Joey kept saying it was his idea. This whole pizza oven was his idea. Joey say that he did say Louis fronted the money. But he's like, it's not like I don't have $250,000. Teresa said her husband lost the money. I don't know how. Like, what? I'm still trying to figure out what's the fallout of the business. Why didn't this happen? Because Joey wanted more. Because I feel like if it's your idea and I'm fronting the money, it should be 50-50. I think Joey didn't want 50-50.
I believe that, no, I think Joey did want 50-50, but he didn't want to put in the money to make it 50-50. To me, if we're partners, I don't care.
Joey wanted 50-50.
Joey wanted to be 50-50, but he was not putting in 50% of an investment. Even if you come, if me and you come together, first of all, I think that Joe was speaking in circles. And when somebody starts speaking in circles and they're not really getting to the point of things, it tells me that there's some deception going on. Yes, I don't believe Joey.
Now, it's not to interrupt, but I didn't like Louis' face when Teresa was talking about it. His face told me something else was up with that story what Teresa was talking about, but go on.
I don't believe that something was up. I believe that it was like, I believe that Joey was talking in circles. He did not answer the question about did he put up his portion? And then Joey said, "Oh, you think I don't have $250,000? It doesn't matter whether you have it. Put it up. Like, okay, you have it. Where is it?" And that was what the issue was. And I feel like Joey was skating around that and sort of making it seem like he didn't want to put an investment. He wanted other people to take the risk, like Louis. If there's a deal, if you believe in this business, like I believe in it, and I'm believing in you, and it's your idea, you should be putting up money too, because I want to believe that you're not conning me and taking risks all over the place with my money. That's the way business deals go. It's a risk for all of us, not just me. And I felt when Joey was talking, you could tell that he was withholding that part of it when he was like, when he tried to deflect, oh, you think I don't have $250,000? Okay, but where is it? And I think that's where Teresa started to see that and was like, in the background, it seemed like that's where it started to unravel with them, is when Joey called Louis and they started talking about the business. And then Teresa was in the background. Joey, did you put up the $250,000 too? And I guess like she was basically like, taking the cat out the bag and like, come on, stop playing around with my man. And I would do the same thing if it were my brother. Like, stop playing with because it's their money. Stop playing with our money. Where's your money?
Correct. So if he's fronting the $250,000, it's Joey's idea. And he's doing all the legwork. Now that we're talking, I don't think you should get 50-50. Because it's my money coming out there. So it should be at least 70-30 or 60-40. You can't get 50-50. I'm putting all my money out.
Exactly.
So I think that's what it was. And again, maybe they didn't do any legal papers and it went wrong. But maybe Joey said F it. And it's quicker for him to get out of the business because he doesn't have his money involved. And he probably just left Louis hanging like, okay, now I don't have my business partner. And he probably didn't know what to do because, again, it was Joey's idea and he lost his money.
And that's the thing about not going 50-50. Now you're doing all of this, taking risk with my money and not yours. And now I'm out of the money and you lost nothing.
Yep.
And that's the part. And then Joey was talking in circles, talking about they bought boxes, pizza boxes. They had a party. What does that have to do with your investment portion?
And Teresa took a picture and called it skinny pizza. Anyway, the whole point.
But what does that have to do with anything? I didn't understand what his point was in saying that. She was calling it skinny pizza. So it was called Nona's or whatever, right? Wasn't the official name Nona's Pizza? And he said that they was throwing a party there. They had pizza boxes. Okay.
I don't understand. What were they trying to open up? They were trying to sell pizza ovens?
No, they had like the premise of the business was like some special pizza oven, but it was going to be a pizzeria, like basically just a regular pizzeria. But I guess, I don't know, some special type of oven, but those ovens are expensive. So maybe they purchased the oven and the money is gone now, but it was going to be like, I think that was the big part of the business, was this specialized pizza oven.
And when I thought about it, they started talking pizza and things like that. They could have made a good money because this franchise is pretty huge. People love
Absolutely.
That would have been a good business deal if the two of them involved.
And it memorializes her father, who like we know Teresa loved, like she's still like, it's in memory of him. So I just think people Teresa is like, that's her show, basically. She's the big dog of the show. So I just feel like she has a good enough fan base for that business to basically flourish and bloom and blossom.
And even using Melissa's fan base. Because it would have been
It's not Teresa. It's not the same.
I know, but that's still a little extra, maybe 100,000 people.
Yeah, I guess a little drop in the bucket.
So that's what they talked. And here goes Melissa crying that her husband has another one. Wah. She cried. So Jackie tells Lee that Jenna should then. Now they're all going to meet each other, and here goes Jackie telling all the ladies that Jenna and her husband are having problems raising the kids, like, in agreement on how to raise the kids. Basically, Jackie's telling everybody Jen's business that she told her the night before.
As she should. I'm sorry. That's the part of being a housewife. I am going to be collecting bones and releasing them.
So the one thing I did notice in this episode, I was like, oh, Dolores looked great in a confessional. Did you see Dolores with the dark hair?
She looked good to me.
She looked great in the confessional. Okay?
I got to look again. I always think she looks good.
She had that dark hair. I didn't even recognize her. I was like, who's that new lady? And I was like, wait a minute, that's Dolores. She looked good. She looked to me better with the dark hair than the color hair she has now.
Okay, I got to take notice.
Yeah, the men were talking about Louis. He made a video while they were at that luau about forgiveness. Then the guys make a video.
See, this is what I love about the guys. You saying you don't like them husbands and you don't like the way they act together.
Yeah, that was fun. That was nothing I would say, oh, that's immature. Stuff like that. I'm talking about when they're acting pissy drunk and doing foolishness. That was the scene I was like, oh, that was kind of funny to me too. Waxing somebody, that to me, that's childish.
Yeah, I didn't like that part. I don't like the waxing either. That's overboard.
Yeah, but that was like a funny scene. I was like, oh, okay, they cool. They look like they have a good camaraderie between them. Rachel, so here goes Rachel, Danielle, Margaret. They had the conversation about what Danielle told Rachel about what she heard about from Teresa and Jenna. It was just like womp womp. Oh, here we go. I mean, Margaret basically set Danielle straight, and all that energy Danielle was bringing the night before, she didn't bring it to Margaret.
Of course. Again, like I said, that's why part of me is like, I don't know about Danielle. The jury is still out on her with me. I don't know. I'm not feeling her like the whole social media is.
Yeah. So I think a lot of people like her because she's comical. She brings a little difference she's a little different than the
other like lady. Rachel. I like a little tough cookie.
Yeah, I like Rachel. I mean, Rachel, I have to see. Her nose is very disturbing to me. I have to be honest.
I know it is. I feel so like, how do they walk around and not get these noses reconstructed? Yeah. Like, is it just, and they know it's messed up. Like, what? I don't know.
She's a cute girl, but her nose is very distracting. So it brings too much attention. So a lot of times when she's in a scene, I'm paying more attention to her nose than what she's saying. The contour's not working, Rachel. The contouring's not working. So they had.
I don't think it's gonna work for that.
Yeah, that's sad. So it was poor bendito. So they were going back and forth, and it was resolved. And at the end, Rachel was like, "Oh, we still good," and Danielle was like, "Yeah." That's another thing where I felt Danielle piggybacked. That's what I'm like, B, we not good. Like,
that's what
how are you gonna be like? Yeah, and then the confessional talk about how you mad about throwing you under the bus.
She's all like talk, no action.
Yes, she's
talking when no one's around.
I see that in her. I see it. I see that.
And I don't like it. I don't like women like that.
And she confronts the ladies about talking about her, but I honestly can't even remember that scene. She confronted them. Did anything happen? I can't remember. Obviously not.
Well, she said that she was upset with them, and somebody's telling, they going around talking about her. And I don't know. I just, again, I already said, I just don't feel like why she's so upset about this. Like, you're on a reality show. We need to know, and we got questions. If you don't want to answer it, that's fine. Don't get mad about it. Deal with it. And that's it. I just thought it was so weird and nasty.
For her part, if that is the truth, let's say he is cuckoo. Let's say brother is kind of like in the head. And happened to, maybe she did post a post. Maybe it was nothing big and she made a post and he blocked her. What if that is the truth? So imagine you are telling them the truth. That's all that happened. Like, maybe she doesn't want to tell people like my brother's not fully there in the head and don't want to say that and just saying, look, this is what happened. And these women don't believe her. It is upsetting. If that is the truth of why they're not talking, it would be upsetting to someone. Imagine here you telling everybody the truth. This is why me and my friends I get along. I don't know what happened. She just stopped talking to me. Whatever the situation, nobody believes your story.
Yeah, but if you're telling half the story and there's holes missing, fill in those holes. Exactly. Like, that's all I want to know. Like, there are holes in her story and they need to be filled in. That's all they're saying to her. That there's too many, like the story does not sound believable. Like Instagram, what was on the Instagram? We need to, man, if that was me, I would grill her like a cheeseburger. Cause I would want to know what was on the Instagram story? What did he say? What did you say in retaliation? What came before that? Why did you call him up and start going off? There's so many, it's just not detailed enough. And I would extract those details. And I just feel like the women, she's getting so mad and she's almost trying to make people afraid to ask her questions. I think that's the purpose of her anger. And it wouldn't work with me. It would not work. I would still be like, girl, you just need to just get it over with and tell us the details. Tell us the tea, because some is missing, girl. That's how I would be.
I didn't think about it. Her purposely trying to get them mad so they don't ask questions.
Yeah, because it's that you do that. Like you kind of set a boundary when you do stuff like that. And that's her boundary. Like, don't ask no questions because I'm gonna be pissed off at you if you do. But no one's scared of her.
So Teresa, so now Louis takes Melissa over to talk to her about the whole thing about his mother. And here goes Teresa and the women back and forth about, oh, you didn't invite her mother. Melissa was crying in the morning about not inviting your mother. And then Teresa decides to go over there to talk to Melissa when she was talking to Louis, and Louis goes off. Louis really goes off, talk about
you can see he has a little bit of a temper.
Huh?
He got a little bit of a temper.
Yeah, I don't care if God came down and told you. I said, ooh, look at Louis.
Mm-hmm.
And in confessional, Melissa said he has a temper. It's like two. He's a nice guy, and then he has a temper, and he's trying to fight. But the real one is really him, the bad temper guy. So Joanne said, I agree. I'm getting used to the captains putting names with faces, but knew immediately who you were talking of, Rachel, because I remember her because of her mishappened. Mishappened. Yeah, that nose is Pinocchio gone wrong.
Yeah, but I thought Louis was like, I don't know, just him pulling over Melissa, wanting to talk to her. I just thought that was just so inappropriate. I would be so pissed off at my husband. And I guess in in defense of Teresa, she's basically saying that Louis is just trying to make it better for their family, and that's all his objective is. I just would be upset at the way he's doing it. I just don't like it. Like, you're pulling the sister-in-law aside, and you doing you're doing too much now. You don't even know these people. Like, stop.
Well, I don't know if I'll be upset if I was Teresa, if I felt he was trying to resolve the issues. See, that's the thing. If he's going to pull her aside to kind of resolve the issues, then I'll be fine. But if he's just pulling her aside just to whatever, I wouldn't like it.
I just think, like, I don't like if somebody that is on, like, that knows me well, that doesn't know these people, and I'm hurt. I'm feeling some kind of way. I get that you're trying to make, things better. But honestly, like, I would prefer resolution rather than, let's invite her in-laws. Let's do this. Let's do whatever they want and make them happy. But then we're going to go back to, like, the same issues that we've had before. You're not a therapist, and you're not going to sit there and try to make other people happy and not make me happy, because that's not going to make me happy. I want, like, mediation. I want some resolution. I just don't want you sitting there trying to make other people happy. And that's the way it would be with me. And I guess, maybe because I have more of a psych background, and to me, it's like, when I see stuff like that, it's like, it's still going to be the same issues. All you're doing right now is putting a Band-Aid over the issues and doing what makes them happy. But now I'm still unhappy. So we got a problem.
So the whole thing with me is starting not to make sense with Louis. If I know somebody made me lose $250,000, I'm going for blood. Like, why are you trying to make Teresa talk to her brother?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like, he's dead to both of us. I wouldn't want Teresa to get involved.
That's what I'm saying. He's considering everyone, not even his own, not even his wife, his soon-to-be wife. Like, you're considering making everyone else happy. That's why I would have a problem with it. And that's why I would have to pull him into the bathroom and give him a talking to. Because if that were my husband, I would make him remember, like, hello, you lost $250,000. And not only that, he's hurting me. Like, why don't we, like, try to figure out that before you think about inviting in-laws, cousins, nephews? Like, let's figure out what the problem is first and resolve that.
Unless there's other stuff we don't know about that he knows about that he doesn't agree with Teresa. Maybe there's other stuff that he knows, like, I don't really agree with what she's doing. Let me try to fix this.
And he probably doesn't, but like you said, the $250,000, there's tweets that they tweeted against her, talking about her, just those things alone, knowing these things, I don't know. I just think he needs to stay in his place a little bit, or talk to me as your wife, and so I can tell you which way to go. You don't know these people. Let me handle this. Stop trying to make
it too involved.
Yeah, that's what
I'm get too involved in business. Even when he pulled Melissa aside, I say, you know what? I mean, I guess Joey's okay, Melissa's okay, but I don't know. Like, oh, come over here, talk to her about husband there for Teresa. They was just like, I'm not saying he was doing things sneaky, but out of respect, why are you pulling my wife to the side, talk to her, and I'm not there? Like, what the hell are you telling her? But it was about the mother, supposedly.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why is he talking to her about the in-laws? Like, we got deeper problems going on. Why are you talking to Melissa about her mother's hurt feelings? What about my feelings?
So damn hurt. Like,
I think Joey's more hurt than anybody. I don't even think Melissa's in-laws give a damn about going to the wedding. Maybe they do a little bit because you want to be a part of it. You're older, something to do, and probably Melissa's a little bit like it would like show me where you stand at, and you just really hate me, basically. But I just think Joey's more hurt about it. Like, he loves Melissa. That's one thing I can say about Joey. He worships the ground Melissa walks on. He really loves her. And I just think it's hurtful to him because that's the love of his life. And you not only like have a problem with my wife, but her family, who was good to our mother and father. Like, you still like trying to draw a line in the sand with her. Like, you're not even overlooking it for our parents.
And that's
so
like,
I don't know.
That's like Joey's family now. They've been there for him.
Yeah, so I just think it is hurtful to him more so than anyone. Like, I don't even think Melissa's taking it to heart like that. So I don't know. But I would feel a way if my husband did something like that.
So now Teresa tells the lady that Joey needs therapy and Melissa has daddy issues. And here goes, what is it? Jackie goes off. And tells
well, it was like nice. Rachel. No, first Rachel said something, which I like that part. When Rachel said, well, I think it was before when Rachel was like about the in-laws, and Rachel told her real opinion when she told Teresa, like, you're not inviting the in-laws, like you didn't like, she made it seem like, I just like Rachel because she seems to not be afraid to speak up, and she did let Teresa know, like, you didn't invite your in-laws, like it was kind of like a slap in the face.
She said that this scene, or this was the night before?
No, it was this scene.
Oh, I don't have that as a note. I just have Teresa going off with at Jackie and telling her, shut the F up. Get the F out of my face.
No, because Rachel basically was like, if you're so concerned about keeping the peace, then you should have invited your in-laws. And then that's when kind of like Teresa kind of snapped at her. Like, this is family business. Stay out of it. That's all I understand, Teresa. Like, she's like, every time somebody responds to her and don't agree with her, it's family business. Stay out of it. You're talking to me about it, though. Like, you're talking to me. We're talking about it. It's the same thing with Rachel. I mean, not Rachel, Jackie. And the same thing basically with Jackie when she kind of snapped at Jackie.
And so shut the F up. Yep.
And why? Why should she shut up? When you're sitting here talking about this in front of me and I have an opinion.
Well, she said Melissa has daddy issues. This is why she's so clingy to her brother.
And that was just messed up. If I was, and I like that Jackie did speak up. That's her bestie. Like, her and Melissa are like best friends now. So it's like, it is kind of like, you're deflecting off the real issue. You're blaming my father because of the issues that I have with, my sister and stuff like that. Like, you're blaming, like, I'm sorry. Like, she's blaming Melissa's daddy issues on what? The problems that she and her are having? Like, it was just messed up.
Yeah, I didn't understand. Well, she said, well, my dad, but then she tried to say, oh, well, my kids have daddy issues too.
She tried to deflect. Like, she tried to like make it like backpedal.
Yeah. So then Joey comes near Melissa and Louis when they're talking, and then he tells Joey to come over. So then it was Melissa, Joey, and what's his name? Louis talking. Then Melissa walks away, and it's left with Louis and Joey talking.
Let me tell you something. I waited a whole 7 days for this scene to go down because they were showing clips of this part, which was just so weird to me when he said that he walks around in their late father's pajamas.
He said, I wrote it down. I wear your father's pajamas at night. So she's talking about his niece. so they feel safe and loving. Well, Teresa didn't wear the pajamas.
What do you think?
The funny thing was Joey's face was like, what? I'm surprised he didn't say anything, but it was just like freaky. I mean, you're wearing my late father's pajamas. That is weird, and that is also weird that Teresa's letting him do it. I mean, maybe she feels comfort, like maybe she feels Louis reminds her of her dad. Maybe it's her way of feeling her dad is still around. I don't know.
That is weird and I mean weird meaning like ID channel weird. Like I can't, and to me that's some type of like behavior that I see on like Tales from the Crypt, and like that is like coming out, like that's something you would see in like Psycho, like where you coming out and you got on a person who passed away, you walking out in their clothes, talking like them and be acting like I'm not saying he's doing all of that, but just to appear out, like I'm just envisioning it as him just walking out in like the late father's pajamas, like nothing, like you're trying to bring comfort to the girls. And I just think it's weird. Like, and first of all, I wouldn't even, to be so nonchalant about telling that to Joey, it is, to me, that's another type of weird too. Like, this is like all kind of like whammies in one thing. Like, all kind of weirdness going on. You're telling this, that should have been kept in the house between them. Don't come out telling me that you're wearing my late father's pajamas and his clothes, and to make my nieces feel safe. And why does he keep bringing up the nieces? To me, that's weird too. Like, why every time he talks to Joey to get his point across about the issues that he's having with his sister, he keeps bringing up these grown nieces? They're grown women.
Because he wants to show how he's more connected to them than he is as the uncle.
And that's what would irk me. Don't talk about my nieces to me. And I feel like he's using it as like a passive aggressive thing. Like you're doing it to try to take a dig at me. These are grown women that we're talking about here. Like, let's keep it between me and my sister. Why are you talking about my nieces? They may not even, who says that they even agree with you saying this stuff to him? Like, maybe they don't want that to get out, that he's walking around their grandpa's pajamas to make them feel safe. If I was the girls, I wouldn't want anybody to know that information. Like, maybe they are feeling some kind of...
him in the face.
What'd you say?
Joey didn't lose it when he said that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, to me, it's just weird. And I guess maybe like in that moment, I would just be more shocked. I don't know if I would say anything in the moment either, because it would be more like shocking to me. Like, I wouldn't know how to react. Like, is this weird? Are you trying to connect with me? Are you being passive aggressive to me? What is this? My mind would be all over the place too if somebody said something like that to me. And then I would need to speak to my husband about it. Like, he's probably gonna speak to Melissa about it and come together. Like, is it just me? Like, or do you think this is weird? Like, and I just think it's like, I just think it's weird on all kind of levels. But afterwards, I listened to Teresa's podcast. So she basically gave an explanation.
Oh, really?
Yes. She said that she donated a lot of her father's clothing to like charity, but she did keep some of the new clothing, and which were the pajamas and that we're talking about. So she said they were never worn, and she gave it to him just to wear, just like kind of like, here, take these. To me, why
did you say that then? That's crazy. But
that's what I'm saying. It's to use it. That's what I'm saying. The idea of him trying to channel the grandfather to make the nieces feel safer. Like, that's weird. Because that's not what Teresa's trying to say. Teresa's basically like, oh, I gave it to him. It was unworn. And that was just that. He just needed some pajamas. And I just gave it away to him. Like, but the way Louis made it seem like he's trying to channel the grandfather.
Well, who's telling the truth?
Louis, because he's
the grandfather's pajamas, or Teresa's covering up because he looked crazy?
Teresa's covering up because I do think Louis might have a loose screw. And she's trying to cover up that screw.
He might come here, my daughter, to Teresa.
I'm probably talking like the grandfather too. He's probably wearing his boxers and everything.
Oh, like, okay, daddy. Like, who knows? Oh my God, it's so sweet.
Come here, grandkids. Come sit on my lap. I think we need to watch out. I think Teresa needs to watch out for him. I don't know, the way he keep bringing up these nieces. I would check for hidden cameras in the bathrooms. Check out. I don't know. He might walk in and not know they're in there. Take a peek in the shower curtain. I don't know. I'm getting a little weird vibe from him.
That was kind of weird. So Teresa said Joey could have. So Teresa goes over and she's telling them that Joey could have called, like, oh, I'm hearing all this stuff is being talked about, me not inviting Melissa's mom. You know, you could have called me and told me about this. And Joey basically said, well, I called you when you didn't put Melissa in the wedding and you didn't do anything about it. So
and it's true. That's what I'm saying. Teresa wants this undying loyalty, which I don't understand. Like, she just needs to let it go. Like, and just, I don't know. I just think like she just needs to let some of that go. Like she's like wants this undying loyalty, like because they didn't stick up for Margaret. It's like she's holding a grudge over Margaret. Like, really? Margaret? And your brother? This is your brother that you're holding a grudge over Margaret, who you're speaking to right now at this moment. Like, why are we still talking about Margaret and last season's issues?
Well, from what Teresa's saying, so Joey says he's very mad. And Teresa's issue is that, and again, I didn't see last season, is that when Margaret was talking poorly about Louis, that Melissa did not stand up and tell, stop doing this. Because Teresa is my sister-in-law and Louis is going to be my brother-in-law. I mean, she has valid points.
But I don't think Margaret was doing that. Margaret was basically questioning Teresa. And it's kind of like with the Danielle situation with her brother. They're questioning like something seems a little fishy. With Louis, there was stories coming out in the press. And I was curious too. I pulled up the video to see what everybody's talking about. This weird video that he did naked and hollering and chanting about, about his ex-girlfriend and proposing to her. So it was weird. So, and it was in the press. So what happened was Teresa didn't want anyone to know about it. She didn't want it to be brought onto the show, but it was everywhere. Everyone knew about it. So Margaret asked questions about it. So Teresa would get so angry about it being asked about, and she did not want it to be asked about. But Margaret didn't let up, which, listen, she's on a reality show. I wouldn't either. But I think like she wanted Melissa to kind of tell her to shut up, don't talk about it, this is my brother. No, and I love what Melissa said to her. You didn't do that for your brother when Jennifer called him a bitch boy. What did you do? Nothing. You doubled down and called him a bitch boy. So I'm saying, like, why can't Teresa just let go of that? I feel like Melissa and Joey do want to kind of like mend things, but Teresa still, like, I don't know what she's expecting from Melissa and Joey, like an apology and like, what are you expecting? Like that's done and over with. You invited Margaret to your wedding. Like, you invited her.
The one that was talking about your husband.
Exactly. So why are we still discussing this about you being hurt? And this is why you didn't invite Melissa. Get over it. This is why you're not inviting the in-laws. This is why you're not, like, I don't understand. Like, it's just weird, but I get the in-law part. To me, I'm not going to invite them if they're tweeting about me. So a part of me feel a little bit, I'm gravitating toward Teresa somewhat, but then some other things I'm like,
I agree.
So some ways I'm just not like, I don't know. A part of me is just like, I'm caught. I'm in between.
Gets up and leaves and tells Louis, fix it. That's what she tells him. So then basically, eventually, Joey and Melissa get up and walk away.
I hate that. I hate when they get away, when it's in the thick of things. It really makes me like pissed at watching a show when they walk away. Like, at this point, Melissa had a point. What'd you say?
I said producers should stop them when they decide to walk
exactly away. Like, why are you walking away in the thick of things? Like, and I love what Melissa said. Like, when Jennifer called your brother a bitch boy. You doubled down on it. Do you see anything wrong with that? You see nothing wrong with that? So I just wish that Teresa would have a moment of clearance at that point, like, and say, like, you know what? Let's let bygones be bygones. We both did some things that were unkind. Let's, like, it would have been so nice if she would have just did that, or said a reason as to why she doubled down. Maybe have some, have a reason, a defense for it. So that's what I'm saying. When you walk away, I don't know where, like, who to believe at this point, because you're running away.
And you don't know how to get back to talking about that again.
Yeah, so I want to know, why did you do that? And a part of me feel like Teresa at some point, she did say before, when Jennifer said the bitch boy comment and she started to say certain things about her brother, Jennifer said that Teresa did talk to her and say, listen, that's my brother. You got to make it right. And Jennifer said she did talk to Joey about it and kind of like apologized about it. So I don't know. Part of me, that's what I'm saying. I do believe, I wish I wish in that moment, Teresa would have said, I made Jennifer apologize for that comment. Like, say something, because I had to remember and rewind back, like, wait a minute. She did say she made Jennifer apologize for that comment.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter because Teresa said it too. She said he was.
That's what I'm saying. She said it too. That's why I wish that she would. That's what I'm saying. Like, I just wish she would have stayed in that moment and gave a reason, or maybe just said, you know what, let's just throw in a towel and let's just be a happy family. We both did messed up things, but she didn't. She just walked away, and now you're still angry, and there was no resolve.
Yeah, it seems like they're angry about the same things over and over. I'm still trying to figure out what the real issue is.
The real issue is petty stuff. Margaret, like, she didn't stick up. I think, like, Margaret apologized a million times about it. You invited Margaret to your wedding. Like, come on, like, stop holding on to these grudges.
But Margaret even came over after and was telling Teresa, no, she did. Like, trying to tell, like, what you're thinking about Melissa is not true. She did.
Yeah, what you mean? What she's thinking about Melissa?
Like, thinking, oh, Melissa didn't stand up for you. Margaret was saying, but she did say these things, Teresa. Like, basically saying Melissa was defending Teresa.
Yeah, she kind of did, but she did, like, when the issue was Teresa did not want the stuff about Louis brought onto the camera. She texted Melissa in the moment, basically reminding Melissa, don't talk about Louis on camera, and if anybody talk about him, shut it down. And then what happened was Melissa goes out to the pool area where they all chilling and says, and reads the text and says, yeah, Teresa just texted me and said she doesn't want anybody talking about. So it's kind of like, you kind of like just basically just let the cat out the bag. Like, you wasn't supposed to say anything. Don't read the text that I just warned you about. Like, don't tell anybody. And you just outed me. So I just feel like in that moment, like, was that what she was trying to say? Was that Melissa's defense? When she came out with the text that Teresa wrote, like, she shouldn't have did it on camera.
Yeah, that's kind of like trusting and going against, not having loyalty as my sister-in-law. If I'm texting you that's kind of like, look, I know film, but girl, I make sure nobody talk about this because I don't want it to be on film. Basically,
yeah, you're gonna go
listen, like, everybody. So he said, come on.
Yeah, why would you do that? So that's what I'm saying. Is that what she's saying, that she tried to tell Margaret not to talk about it when you just know that wasn't the way? That wasn't the right way, girl.
Or even off camera. She could have.
Yeah. Did you do anything like off camera? No. She went on camera and did it.
I see Teresa's point. So it was just a bunch of back and forth. Teresa said Melissa is not a good woman because she should have made things right between her and her brother. I mean, I don't know what the hell Melissa could have done to make things right between the two of them. But she don't.
And I think Melissa has tried all these years. I think she has.
I think so too. But then they leave. Then they come back because Melissa couldn't drive out of the parking. It seems like Joe is going to have a confrontation with Louis. Louis calmed him down. And then they went to move the car. And that was basically it for that episode. It kind of heated. It was heated and then it simmered down pretty fast.
Yeah, and it seems like Louis trying to keep the peace. It seemed like he's trying. I don't know. like you brought up a great point about like somebody took $250,000 and I lost it. I don't know. I'm wondering, did he really lose the money? Did he get it back? Or maybe he's just upset that the business didn't take off. I want to know, did Louis get the $250,000 back? Because ain't no way I'm going to be having a conversation about this petty stuff and I'm out of $250,000.
Or trying to make you talk to your sister. I wouldn't even want to look at you.
Exactly. I can't even.
It's my wedding.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm thinking about it as he's talking to him. I'm thinking about the $250,000 and you know.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that, but you're right. I would be the one to tell Teresa, your brother's not coming to the wedding. That would be the argument. Me and you do it. Hey, brother's not coming. Where's my money?
Until I get my $250,000 back.
Yeah. So that was the end of that episode.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for joining us today. Please continue to like, subscribe to our YouTube channel, comment below, follow us on Facebook, TikTok. We'll be continuing doing live videos, and soon we'll be posting our quick tea about other hot topics relating to Housewives.
And don't forget to hit that like button.
And leave a comment.
Toodles.